I feel like I have a very weird version of body dysmorphia where it's not that I'm big and I feel like I'm small, but it's actually the other way around. So I would be a little bit too positive about how is it that I look. And I was a little bit confused at some points because I was trying to flex and I was trying to show off my physique. And I would always have to hunch in these weird directions and hit these very odd poses for me to look decent. And that just led to me looking weird, and it's not really how you should flex. And then I started watching some videos online and comparing myself to some people online. And obviously it's a very bad idea to compare yourself to people online because you're going to end up comparing yourself to the elite of the elite, to like the 0.1% of the elite bodybuilders that also abuse the fuck out of substances. But I wasn't really comparing the physique all that much. I was mostly comparing the poses that they hit to the poses that I hit. And they just like hit proper, normal, decent poses. They opened themselves up and they're not hunching in all sorts of weird directions and doing all sorts of weird movements. So that led me to the conclusion that I am not jacked enough. I just need to become more muscular and then it's going to be okay. So yeah, it's like difficult for me to evaluate myself and it's difficult for me to understand how muscular I am because sometimes I feel like I'm more jacked than I am, and then sometimes I feel like I'm more lean than I actually am, and I need to be a little bit more grounded with these kind of things and a little bit more realistic. Because as fun as it is living in La La Land, you also want to have a realistic outlook on how is it that you look. So that was an interesting experience for me to realize that, well, it's probably time for me to put in some more work and it's time for me to focus a little bit more on actually getting bigger, and then it's going to work out fine. And it's also a little bit confusing because I love fitness and I want to do something related to fitness. But when you don't have a very obvious alley to utilize, so for an example, a lot of people try to get as jacked as they possibly can by abusing substances. And for them, the direction in social media is very clear. They are going to be showing off their physique and they're going to try to get as big as they possibly can. But when that is not something that you're willing to do, it becomes a little bit more tricky because it's kind of difficult to figure out what is it that you can do online. Because yeah, I do want to do something fitness related and I want to talk about fitness, but well, it's difficult to figure out what is it that you can even talk about. So for an example, with these videos, nobody's ever going to be watching these videos, so it's fine. You can kind of say whatever the fuck is it that you want to say. But also on top of it, it's just like, what is it that you're going to be talking about? In my case, the only thing I can talk about is like my day-to-day experience and what is it that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis and how is it that my fitness journey is going. Because I don't really have this incredibly muscular physique to show off. Like, yeah, I'm jacked and I'm in very good shape, but it's nothing extraordinary. It's like a regular, decently developed physique. So that also becomes a little bit difficult. But at the end of the day, it's also like, sometimes it does get a little bit demotivating to just like make these videos without anyone watching them. But also at the end of the day, I kind of look at it more as like practice, because at the beginning when I posted my first videos, I was not able to muster together 2 sentences without messing up. And nowadays I can have a more or less full monologue in front of a camera and I'm mostly going to be okay. Sure, I'm going to mess up from time to time, but I have clearly improved my ability to speak in front of a camera, which is cool. It's actually a useful skill to have. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm quite comfortable with nobody ever seeing these videos, and if anyone will ever see these videos, it is going to take a very long period of time for that to happen. But at least I'm practicing, at least I'm sticking to something, because I also decided that I'm going to post a video a day, and I have been sticking to this for a fairly long period of time now. So I feel like there are some benefits that come out of it, and there is a level of discipline that it requires. And then also, yeah, at the end of the day, you're just practicing talking in front of a camera, which is not going to be a bad thing. That's actually a useful skill to have, and it can come in handy at some point. So that's a good thing. Other than that, today was a fairly fun day because today I had like a mini kind of a cheat day. And it wasn't necessarily a cheat day because I didn't really fall off of my diet completely. It was more that I beefed up the food that I eat anyways and then added some sweets on top of it. So that ended up being a cool thing because that enhanced the gym experience a little bit. I was a little bit more full and I was having a little bit more fun at the gym. And the only thing that keeps on messing with me is this fucking heat wave. Like, I've never felt anything like this. So I live in Philadelphia and the heat here is absolutely insane. And I've lived in a few different places during my lifetime. Some of them were warmer, some of them were colder. but I have never been in a place like this where the heat wave is this intense. Like, you literally cannot go out normally in the sun because it's just going to burn you. I had to take the metro today to the gym just to not walk in the direct sunlight because that would just be too much. And even when I'm walking outside, I'm constantly trying to dodge the sun, and I'm constantly trying to find ways how to walk in the shade because it's just like very, very warm. And it's like you're walking in a sauna. If you go outside, there is zero fresh air outside. Everything is hot and everything is warm, and there's almost like no air to breathe. So that does become a very odd experience. And supposedly it's going to be like this for like the next 2 days, which is not something I'm super excited about. So I am mostly going to be at home and at the gym because at least my home and the gym has air conditioning. So that's nice. That makes it a little bit less difficult to tolerate. Okay, other than that, I guess nothing else to say for today. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.